It is week number 9 of the high school football season, and our list of undefeated teams has dwindled down to 5. In fact, last week we saw a loss by the number 1 team in the state. So this week, a big shakeup in our WKBN Power Rankings.
It's hard to believe postseason play begins in just 2 weeks. This Friday night's action will play a big part in who qualifies for week number 11. If the playoffs started today, 14 local teams would qualify. We'll see if that number holds up.
Absolutely, and that includes our number 10 ranked team this week, Warren Harding. Now, the Raiders have won 5 in a row. They've also already clinched the AAC Gold Tier title with wins over Fitch and Boardman, both of which are playoff caliber teams. Their only losses came against Canton McKinley and Massillon, both teams undefeated and 2 of the top ranked teams in the state. So strength of schedule definitely there. A very interesting matchup this Friday night as well against Youngstown East. A few players from that Golden Bears team played for the Raiders last year. Should be fun on Friday.
At number 9, we'll check in with the Canfield Cardinals. Of course, this Cardinals squad falls in the power rankings after suffering their first loss of the season. It was a 12-7 setback to the aforementioned Youngstown East team last Friday night. It's barely affected the Cards' playoff positioning, however. In fact, most have them in already. They are second in Division III, Region 9 right now, and ranked 4th in Ohio. Canfield will finish with Howland and Poland, and if they win out, seems like a home game in week number 11.
Could very well be. At number 8, speaking of, how about Youngstown East moving up? The Golden Bears are, quite frankly, the hottest team in high school football right now. They've won 3 in a row. They've claimed the AAC Red Tier title outright. They, of course, knocked off Canfield, the top-ranked team in the state in Division III last Friday night, thanks in large part to their defense. It's been awesome, allowing just over 10 points per game. East is also in great playoff position. They are currently 4th in Division IV, Region 13. They finish with 2 very tough teams, Warren Harding and Hubbard. But at this point, who can't they beat?
At number 7, GIRARD. The Indians up 2 spots here in this week's WKBN Power Rankings. The Indians coming off their 6th straight blowout victory, a 61-6 rout of Newton Falls. It's the second time they've topped 60 points this season. The entire campaign comes down to just 1 game, however. GIRARD still not in the top 8 in the region. They host undefeated LeBray Friday night. If they lose, they're done. If they win out, they're in by our count.
Should be a great game Friday night at Arrowhead Stadium. At number 6, the Wilmington Greyhounds. They move up a spot after a convincing win over a very good team last Friday night. Wilmington racked up over 400 yards rushing alone against Sharpsville and beat the Blue Devils by 34 points. They also clinched the Region 4 title in the process. Wilmington also the number 2 ranked team in the state right now in Class AA.
Standing pat at number 5 is McDonald. The Blue Devils, one of those 5 undefeated teams left in the Valley. They're coming off their 6th blowout victory of the season and the 4th time they've topped 50 points. The problem is the top 3 teams in the Mahoning Valley Athletic Conference, McDonald, Springfield, and Western Reserve, are all out of the Division VI playoff picture. McDonald needs to win Friday night against Western Reserve to change that. If they win out, they're in. If they lose Friday night, they are out. Much like GIRARD, the entire season comes down to just 1 game.
Moving on, another undefeated team at number 4, the LeBray Vikings. They move up 2 spots after their 8th straight lopsided win. In fact, they haven't had a close game all season long. That may change on Friday night, though, when they take on GIRARD, an extremely talented team that is desperately in need of a win to keep their playoff hopes alive. As for LeBray, they're already in. They're playing for home field advantage in Division V, Region 17, and as always, LeBray remains the highest scoring team that we cover in the Valley at over 55 points per game.
At number 3, up 1 spot, Pennsylvania Power, Grove City. The Eagles move up after an easy win over Conneaut. The Eagles won the Region 5 title outright with that victory. They are a perfect 8-0 and boasting Mercer County's top-ranked team in total offense. The Eagles are averaging over 474 yards per game. They're also the number 3 ranked team in the state in Class 3A.
At number 2, the Hubbard Eagles get back to that number 2 spot after another big win in our WKBN Game of the Week. They made short work of Struthers 41-0. That was their 3rd consecutive shutout. By our count, they've already done enough to earn a spot in the Division IV playoffs, but they will look to finish strong. Poland and Youngstown East are also in the top 8 of their region, and those teams are teams that need a win desperately to keep their playoff hopes alive, so they'll have their work cut out.
Without further ado, at number 1 for the 7th straight week, the Farrell Steelers. Their win over Reynolds last Friday night means a clean sweep for the Region 1 title. The Steelers are the top scoring team in Mercer County at over 53 points per game. They also have the best defense, allowing less than 8 per contest. It all adds up to Farrell being the number 1 team in the state in Class A, and once again, number 1 in our WKBN Power Rankings.
Without question, week number 9, the most important week of the season, especially when you consider 4 of our top 10 teams will play each other in week number 9. So the Power Rankings will certainly change next week. Make sure you tune in next Wednesday right here at WKBN.com.